Allow me to walk you through the key pillars of the Feed Ghana program, detailing what we have achieved in the last 10 months. Campaign to stimulate national interest in agriculture. Feed Ghana becomes a national movement. The first leg of the Feed Ghana program is a nationwide campaign to stimulate patriotism, interest, and participation in agriculture. What began as a policy intervention has now evolved to a national movement, a rallying call to institutions, youth, and communities to take ownership of Ghana's agricultural revival. Under this campaign, several public and private institutions are actively engaged in institutional farming. This includes the Ghana Armed Forces, the Ghana Prison Service, the National Service Authority, 413 senior high schools, junior high schools, and primary schools, public universities such as the University of Ghana, KNUST, UCC, UDS, Ho Technical University, University of Energy and Natural Resources, etc., etc., including churches and mosques. This growing participation is a testimony to the fact that today, the Feed Ghana program is currently the cynosure of all Ghanaians. It has rekindled a national spirit of food independence and restored dignity to farming. Home gardening. As part of the Feed Ghana campaign, a clarion call has been made to all households to engage in home gardening to help reduce household expenditure on food, especially vegetables. The participation has been massive and incredible, even though the campaign has not achieved its full objectives. It has been a passable endeavor. To sustain this home gardening program, MOFA is establishing nurseries at the district departments of agriculture across the country to improve household access to the seedlings of various vegetables. Irrigation for wealth creation, ending rain-dependent agriculture. A critical enabler for food sufficiency under the Feed Ghana program is irrigation infrastructure. To ensure all year-round production and climate resilience, MOFA is aggressively shifting Ghana's agriculture from rain-fed production to irrigation-based farming. This, in the wisdom of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, would facilitate our journey towards food security. Key developments in the past 9 months include construction of 10 new small dams, rehabilitation of 8 existing irrigation dams, 250 solar-powered boreholes for farming communities and second-cycle schools across the 5 regions of the North, Bono, and Ahafo regions. We are also rehabilitating the following irrigation schemes: via irrigation scheme in Bogatanga and Bongo district of the Upper East region to cover land size of 850 hectares. Without irrigation scheme in Ketu North, municipal of the Volta region, to cover land size of 880 hectares. Tanoso irrigation scheme in Techiman, municipal of the Bono East region, to cover land size of 100 hectares. Ashaman irrigation scheme in Greater Accra, land size of 200 hectares. Aveime irrigation scheme in the Volta region, land size of 245 hectares. It must be stated here that Canada has donated 25 solar-powered boreholes. 15 have been completed, and the remaining 10 will be completed in the first quarter of 2026. The European Union, through FAO, have also donated 45 solar-powered boreholes for selected districts in the northern part of the country. Processes have begun for the construction of the following new inland valleys for rice production. 1, Anunuso Inland Valley in Anunuso, Brofiedu, Nkwankwanua, and our home communities in the Ashanti region to cover land size of 175 hectares. Atonsu Inland Valley in Atonsu and Abramaso communities in the Ashanti region to cover land size of 150 hectares. Kawampe Inland Valley in Kawampe, Tamfuto, Kaka, Tadifufuo, Tahiru Ekura, Chiranda, Atekura, and Abrawan communities in the Bono East region. This is to cover 647 hectares. Odaho and Odamu Inland Valleys in Yankroma and then Doniaso communities in the Ashanti region, land size of 114 hectares. Wamukumi Inland Valley in Wamukumi and Ofenhon communities in the Ashanti region, land size of 114 hectares. Additionally, FSRP is supporting the implementation of several pipeline irrigation projects. These interventions are designed not only to support smallholders, but also to anchor commercial farming clusters. Now, farmer service centers. Mechanization for modern agriculture. Mechanization is a fundamental requirement for modern agriculture. Under the Feed Ghana program, the ministry is establishing farmer service centers across the country. Procurement processes will soon begin for the acquisition of 660 tractors, 400 combine harvesters, and related equipment. In total, over 4,000 pieces of agricultural machinery and implements are being mobilized to equip the first 50 farmer service centers. These centers will provide services such as land preparation, input supply, harvesting support, storage facilities, extension advisory services, market linkage, and equipment leasing at affordable rates, especially to smallholder farmers. Agricultural extension officers, strengthening the front line of knowledge transfer. Ladies and gentlemen, the role of agricultural extension officers cannot be overemphasized. They are the bridge between research and farming practices, bringing innovation and science to the farm gate. However, the current extension agent to farmer ratio in Ghana is far below the international standard. While the acceptable ratio is 1 AEA to 500 farmers in Ghana, it is 1 AEA to over 1,500 farmers. This gap constrains knowledge transfer and adoption of modern agricultural practices. To address this, MOFA plans to procure 540 motorbikes to facilitate AEA mobility. 150 of these motorbikes were distributed on Tuesday, 22nd July 2025. A total of 400 AEAs are being recruited as Feed Ghana coordinators for all the districts. Their motorbikes are being readied for deployment. It is our hope that the Ghana Food Brigade will be launched before the end of December this year. In addition, 10,000 youth are being enrolled on the National Service Scheme under a 4-year program. Each year, a portion of these youth will be retained as permanent ministry staff to augment agricultural extension delivery. This is to clear the backlog of students who have completed the ministry's agricultural and veterinary colleges from 2015 up to date and have not been posted. By investing in the front line of service delivery, MOFA is cementing the foundation for modern, climate-smart, and data-driven agriculture. Cooperatives, building the social infrastructure for economic transformation. To ensure scale, coordination, and inclusivity, MOFA is placing community commodity-focused farmer cooperatives at the heart of our agricultural transformation. These cooperatives are not just for aggregation and marketing. They are being positioned as platforms for training, finance, mechanization, input access, and climate adaptation. As of 11th October 2025, a total of 70,000 community commodity-focused cooperatives have been established across the country. These cooperatives are being integrated into every major intervention, from mechanization to weather advisory, ensuring no farmer is left behind. This is to give the farmers a voice in all agricultural matters. Once they are into cooperatives, they can negotiate for reasonable prices for inputs and reasonable prices for outputs. They can also enjoy the advantages of economies of scale as they live in the same area and produce the same commodity. They can share ideas and prefer solutions to challenges confronting them together. Now, value addition, which is a critical pillar of the Feed Ghana program. Private sector as engine of agro-industrialization. Value addition is essential for job creation, price stabilization, and export diversification. Some notable private sector investments that MOFA will be linking to our well-organized community commodity-focused farmer cooperatives and farmer service centers to ensure a reliable supply of raw materials for processing include Chirajia Farms Limited in Tono is installing rice processing equipment valued at $23,000, providing market access to rice farmers in Tono and Northeast regions. A2 Agro Allied Company is setting up a state-of-the-art poultry feed processing facility in Kase Ashanti region. Nadkansco Processing Limited is establishing an agro-industrial facility in Techiman to process cashew. Obapak Company Limited is also establishing an agro-industrial facility in Techiman to process onion. A 154 million euro investment by the government of Italy in partnership with BF International aimed at transforming large-scale commercial agriculture in Ghana has been secured. Under this initiative, a 10,000-hectare irrigated model farm will be developed for the production of rice, maize, soya, and tomato on an all-year basis. As part of the project, Sihiam Barry, an agency of the Italian government, will collaborate with the West African Center for Crop Improvement, WACI, of the University of Ghana to establish a national seed bank, while partnering with the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, to implement a comprehensive soil testing and suitability program. They will also build schools, hospitals, ICT centers, and community centers for all communities within the production enclaves. Government, with the support of development partners, is setting up a new soya processing plant in northern Ghana to process soya beans into soya cake and oil. While the oil is edible, the cake will contribute to a reduction in poultry feed costs in Ghana. The capacity of the soya plant is 40 metric tons per day at an estimated cost of $370,000. This will provide guaranteed markets for soya farmers in northern Ghana. I am happy to report that the soil cutting ceremony will be done in early 2026. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, additional support is being mobilized for the share value chain. In this regard, the PBC share board has been inaugurated, and the PBC share butter factory, established in 2015 by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and which collapsed in 2019 under the MPP government, has been revamped in the last 10 months. We now have a contract to supply shea butter to Netherlands and other countries. Ghana shea butter is considered premium in the world market, and we must expand our shea processing capacity to take advantage of the growing demand for shea butter. Steps are therefore being taken to restrict the export of rare raw shea nuts. Let me repeat that. Steps are therefore being taken to restrict the export of raw shea nuts. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Agence Française Développement is also providing resources under the Boost Ecological Transition Towards Enhanced Revenue Better project for the development of the shea industry. A total of 4 million euros is earmarked for the development of the shea industry. Now, Vegetable Development Project, Yeridua, advancing vegetable production for food security and import substitution. Distinguished guests, fellow Ghanaians, as part of government's broader agricultural diversification agenda, the ministry is implementing the Vegetable Development Project, Yeridua, a strategic intervention to transform the vegetable subsector and reduce the country's dependence on imports. This project will be launched by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama this coming Thursday, 27th of November, 2025, in Kukum in the Ahafo region. To address the issue of post-harvest glut and price volatility, partnerships have been established with Farm-Made Tomato Company and the Tomato Women Association to offtake harvested produce at the farm gate. The ministry is also promoting cluster farming models to ease aggregation and transport logistics for large-scale buyers, avoiding the inefficiencies associated with scattered smallholder farms. With a generous grant support of $3.17 million from the government of Norway, the ministry is leading the implementation of a targeted tomato initiative focused on 4 interlinked pillars: seed development, certified seed production, productivity enhancement, and market systems development. Now, poultry industry revitalization, empowering local producers and reducing imports. Distinguished guests, fellow Ghanaians, a critical pillar of the Feed Ghana program is the revitalization of Ghana's poultry industry, a sector with vast potential to drive import substitution, job creation, and national food security. In alignment with government's commitment to reduce Ghana's annual poultry import bill, estimated between $300 million and $400 million, a set of complementary interventions has been launched to boost both commercial and household-level poultry production. Under the Poultry Industry Revitalization Program, 3 interventions are being rolled out to scale Ghana's poultry production, namely Poultry Farm to the Table project. Under this project, anchor farmers and outgrower support are being provided. 50 anchor poultry farmers have been selected for 80,000 birds each. With other logistical support, the target is to produce 4 million birds from this program. The Poultry Intensification Program. This program is being implemented by FSRP. Under this program, 500 small to medium-scale poultry farmers selected from across the country are being empowered to produce 3 million birds. Then the almighty Nkukon Ketenkete initiative, backyard poultry for nutrition and livelihoods. To enhance food security at the grassroots, the ministry is rolling out the Nkukon Ketenkete initiative, a backyard poultry farming program targeting the production of a total of 3 million birds with a strong focus on women and youth. Under this initiative, vulnerable households will be supported with pullets and basic production inputs. The objective is to improve household nutrition, enhance livelihoods, promote community-based food systems, and whip up interests of Ghanaian women and youth in poultry production. The Nkukwan Kitinkiti program was launched on 12 November 2025 by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana for immediate distribution of 3 million bears to all constituencies of this country. Under this program, every constituency is receiving 10,000 bears with feed. And as we speak, our teams are on the field distributing to the various constituencies. It is our hope that within the next 3 weeks, every, or maximum 1 month, every constituency in this country will be served. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it must be noted that 13,000 farmers in 12 selected districts have received 720,000 bears. The districts are Tamale Metro, Wa Municipal, Nanton, Savelugu, Mion, Karachi East, Boko West, West Goja, Nandom, Sisala East, East Mamprusi, and Mamprugu Maduri. In some cases, battery cages were distributed to support backyard poultry production, especially those who are doing the layers. This was the pilot for the ministry to appreciate the associated risks of the Nkukwan Kitinkiti program. The program has been very successful, and hence the need for immediate rollout. Interventions seek to uplift vulnerable communities, particularly women-headed households, by enabling them to contribute meaningfully to local food production while improving nutrition and income security at the grassroots level. Ladies and gentlemen, looking at the huge investment we are making in the poultry subsector and the vigorous campaign for participation that the ministry has launched, we anticipate that the nation is going to produce a lot of poultry in the coming months. Hence, our decision to set up a poultry processing factory in Bechem. The procurement processes for the factory have been completed, and the salt cutting ceremony will be performed by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, on Thursday, 27th November 2025. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, collectively, these poultry-focused interventions represent a coordinated national effort to substantially reduce Ghana's reliance on imported poultry products, create sustainable employment opportunities for youth and women, improve access to affordable protein-rich food, strengthen resilience across the domestic poultry value chain. The ministry remains fully committed to empowering both large-scale poultry enterprises and smallholder farmers to reclaim the domestic poultry market and secure Ghana's food future. Now, livestock breeding and dairy stations. The American dairy farms is receiving special attention within the ministry's broader agenda to enhance the nation's livestock breeding and dairy systems. The rehabilitation and restocking of the American Dairy Project is underway to produce milk, cheese, and other related products to meet the nutritional needs of our people. The National Food Buffer Stock Company, NAFCO, 100 million Ghana cedis has been released to NAFCO to mop up excess produce in the market and store them against emergencies. For the first time in our history, Ghana is building national food buffer against emergencies. This is to strengthen national preparedness against emergencies while stabilizing market prices for both producers and consumers. Now, Tree Crop Development Authority, accelerating industrialization and export diversification. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, tree crops continue to play a pivotal role in Ghana's economic transformation agenda, serving as a key driver for industrialization, export diversification, rural income generation, and job creation. Under the leadership of the Tree Crop Development Authority, significant progress has been made in promoting, regulating, and coordinating the development of 6 strategic cash crops, namely cashew, oil palm, rubber, shea, coconut, and mango. These commodities remain central to the government plan to diversify exports, create employment, and improve livelihoods across all regions of the country. Major programs and interventions. 2 flagship programs are currently driving the implementation of TCDS mandate. The Ghana Tree Crops Diversification Project is a 1 million initiative aimed at enhancing economic, social, and climate resilience in the cashew, coconut, and rubber value chains. Under this project, over 6 million elite seedlings are being distributed free of charge to 10,000 registered farmers on the Ghana Agricultural Access platform. By 2026, distribution targets include 3 million cashew seedlings and 8,500 farmers for 8,500 farmers, 2 million coconut seedlings for 1,200 farmers, and 1 million rubber seedlings for 300 farmers across selected districts. Agro-input support packages are being provided to 10,000 farmers to increase productivity and enhance climate adaptation. 15 processing enterprises in the cashew, rubber, and coconut sectors have been shortlisted to receive matching grant support to expand processing capacity and generate employment. 2 research institutions are receiving logistical support, including pickup vehicles, to strengthen field research and innovation in tree crops. TCDA has also developed and operationalized a policy framework for a social development unit and child labor desk, ensuring gender inclusion, social safeguards, and the elimination of child labor within the tree crop sector. Furthermore, a grievance redress mechanism has been launched with toll-free lines and a web-based reporting system to promote transparency and accountability in project implementation. The Ghana Private Sector Competitiveness Program Phase 2. This is a CHF 9 million bilateral partnership between the Government of Ghana and the Swiss State Secretariat for Economic Affairs, SECO, implemented by NIRAS and Proforest. The program focuses on enhancing trade competitiveness in the cashew and oil palm value chains. A national policy dialogue on cashew and oil palm was convened in Accra in July 2025 to harmonize policies and improve coordination among key stakeholders. A matching grant facility of CHF 850,000 has been established to support local processors in upgrading equipment and improving processing efficiency, among others.